At age 10, Kelly Jenkins dreamed she would live in a quaint two-story country home with a red roof, operate a highly successful cotton candy business in her spacious backyard, and fly fighter jets in air shows on the weekends, part-time, of course, to the cheers of adoring crowds comprised of thousands. At age 34, Kelly, homeless, stood in a field of knee-high weeds in Blue Moon Haven, Alabama, with $71 in the pocket of her ripped capris, and two abandoned siblings, one of whom despised her, at her side. Life had always had different plans than Kelly did, and the world hadn't always been kind. But deep down, she still clung to the secret hope that things might one day improve. "It has wheels." Todd Campbell, 10 years old, with the shrewd gaze of a middle-aged litigator, frowned up at her. "You said we'd never live in a place that had wheels again. You said when we moved here there'd be a house." His eyes narrowed. "You said—" "Yep," she nodded vigorously. "Yep, I know exactly what I said." And 2 weeks ago, when she'd emailed her sorely lacking resume to Maybelle Larkin, owner of the Blue Moon Haven Drive-In, and accepted a management position, that's exactly what Kelly thought she would acquire: a home. That along with a thriving drive-in theater business, exuding nostalgic appeal. Instead, the massive sign, 14 feet high and 48 feet wide, marking the drive-in's entrance, was covered in moldy grime, and the large letters comprising Blue Moon Haven Drive-In were faded or dangling precariously. And the lot itself was even worse. Weeds and briars were everywhere, patches of them rustling in succession as though small, unseen creatures scurried about. Two massive projection screens, one obscured by the sprawling branches of a pecan tree, had gaping holes and seemed to be covered in the same grime that slicked the entrance sign they'd passed earlier. Leaves, cigarette butts, beer bottles, and other debris littered the concessions building, and one of the two tall projection booths slumped to the right as though it had a bum leg. But the worst, the absolute worst, was the ancient, pokey trailer slumping at the back edge of the lot, its metal surface glinting beneath the early spring Alabama sun, heat rolling off it in hazy waves despite the morning chill still lingering in the air.